from Vincent Black Shadow. I always have a hard time saying your name, but I get it right on camera. That's the important part. Now you guys are from Canada.
Yes, we are.
The greatest country on the planet. That's right, I said it. What differences do you guys have from playing in the U.S. and playing in Canada? Is there any?
Yes, the fact that we rarely play Canada.
Really?
Yeah, we've actually been touring. We started touring last year. Our first tour was Warped Tour '06, and which only has 4 Canadian dates. And then this year we jumped up to a much bigger stage. And in the meantime, in between, we did another American tour, and we went to Europe as well, in the UK. But Canada, we haven't really pushed because of the fact that if you become successful anywhere beyond Canada, then Canadians will accept you.
That's kind of ridiculous.
It's kind of the inferiority complex that we tend to have. With the United States, they get very offended when you call it the Canadian American. Even though I challenge anyone to tell the difference between Canadian. Put them side by side,
You can't. There's no. Yeah, that's not. Now, you guys kind of blend 1930s European cabaret with a whole bunch of different genres. How did that come to be?
Well, basically, it wasn't really intentional. I mean, people use the word cabaret for us, but I don't really think that we're cabaret.
I think the video for Metro is a little more referring to. It's kind of got that kind of feel to it.
Yeah, the song definitely has that jazz. I mean, I'm more into swing music, like Orcs jazz, band type stuff. And but unfortunately, a lot of times I have people will say, "Oh, you Panic at the Disco," and that kind of, which is really not really where we're coming from. But we're more cabaret in our variety.
Right. Now, you guys, like you said before, haven't been touring that much. You really haven't been around that long as a band. What is it like to be on Fuse? You guys on the Hub and Fresh, you beat Justin Timberlake and Panic at the Disco. Was that an unreal experience for you guys?
At the time, it was very, very cool. I mean, that was our first video, and all of a sudden, Fuse got behind it big time, and then when we won the Oven Fresh and Panic at the Disco, and we beat these bands that shouldn't have won. You know what I mean? Because they've sold 1 million records.
Right.
And we just started out. So, but we have really, the thing about our band is the fans that tend to like our band love our band.
Well, it's kind of
they which is way cooler to me than fly by night fans. The ones that are like, well, tonight I like you, but tomorrow could be totally different. Whatever the fad is in the week. I hate fads.
Yeah, that's not a good thing.
Always want to be a part of that.
Well, that's always a good thing. Now, have you guys encountered any kind of, I don't want to say use the term backlash, but because a lot of times having a female lead, I don't want to say it'll be a bad thing, because it's not a bad thing, but a lot of times people don't take the chick rock, they'll look at it as like a chick rock kind of thing. Has anything like that happened? Anything bad in regards to, not bad per se, but you know where I'm going.
I know exactly where you're going, and it's funny because there's been a few radio stations that are like, oh, we can't play them, it's a female singer. First of all, it's a ridiculous approach to have in the first place because they're afraid of this whole masculine thing about most rock radio stations where it's we have all the guys that listen to it. If you play a girl on there, they're going to be like, oh, I'm not tough anymore because I'm listening to a girl sing. It's amazing what people think. They play us, and the funny thing is, the people that are fans of the heavier music, like metal and stuff, really like our band, and they'll phone it. Who is that? Because the difference between our band with a female and most other female-fronted bands is that we don't sing about boyfriends and girlfriends. We don't sing about whiny ass stuff that I can't stand. Cassie is a really aggressive person.
I noticed that.
You know what I mean? She's very intimidating. She's actually she looks obviously very feminine. She's an attractive girl, but in her personality, it's very masculine. She loves video games, horror movies. Nothing to do with the cheesy I love you, I broke up with me. It's why do we have to say about that? She goes into more weird stuff, and it's easier to relate to for all sexes.
Yeah, that's true. Now, you mentioned horror movies. Are you into horror movies?
Oh, big time.
What's your favorite horror movie?
My favorite horror movie? I just saw we watch a lot of Asian horror movies. We just saw one called The Host, which is a brand new one.
Is that Takashi Mike?
No, but I really like
Imprint. Have you seen Imprint?
No, Gozu was the last one I saw, which I really like. And is there something I'd like to say?
Just if you can say ass, you can say bitch.
Okay.
Don't drop any F-bombs.
Okay, I was just gonna say when the part it goes to when he has the spoon in his ass and he gets this anyways. That Takashi goes so messed up.
Yeah.
Ichi the Killer is probably my favorite of his.
I have a copy of that sitting at home. I haven't watched it yet.
Really?
Yeah.
brothers, and our father was in the Vancouver Symphony Orchestra, or still is, and played trumpet. So growing up, we had Vancouver Symphony music, or we had symphonic music always around us.
Right.
At the same time, I know when my mother was pregnant with me, she went to Beatlemania, and like I put Elvis on headphones and put him.
Wow.
So like I had like music pumping in my brain since before I was born.
Worst things can happen.
Exactly. So it's just kind of been in my blood, the whole time. So, but we listened to growing up. My brothers and I listened to music like Guns N' Roses, Metallica, Corey Hart.
Wow.
No, it's funny because we had a discussion the other day about what was your first album you got. Like my older brother was saying he got like Falco or something like that. Remember Rock Me Other Days? And I got like Chuck Berry and Vanilla Ice, and Tone got like Corey Hart and Clinton's Guns N' Roses. Although I know that was his first.
That's kind of a weird combination, Corey Hart and Guns N' Roses.
I don't know. We like weird stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, like we try and take inspiration from whatever we think we like. I mean, I don't like to say, well, that's punk. You can't like it.
Right.
If it's cool, it's fun.
What do you think of new punk? I mean, a lot of people are saying what's out now really isn't punk because punk was the Sex Pistols, the Clash, the Buzzcocks to a certain extent. What do you think of what people are calling new punk now? It's kind of a loaded question.
Well, the way I look at punk is this: I don't think punk is anything to do with music. I think punk is everything to do with your attitude. Because the reason people were called punks is because they were going against the grain, they were doing whatever they wanted to do, and they were trying to make some music that totally was a big FU in the industry, where it was like, we don't want to play the crappy type of music. Like Glenn Danzig was like, the Misfits, he said, we just took like regular 50s melodies and sped them up as a big FU to like the punk rock that was going on in the 70s. That's what it was about, that kind of rebellion. And I think this whole idea now that you have to have a mohawk and that you have to have like a jacket with like tons of patches and and tattoos and everything. It's like a guy from Hawthorne, Fletcher from Hawthorne says it used to be that you get a tattoo and now you're rebellious. Now your parents are taking you together. So this new punk thing, I don't know. I mean, I think any band and people that are out there just doing what they want to do on their terms and not trying to be a part of it, that's punk.
What do you think is, this is an odd question to ask, but what do you think, in your opinion, is the only band that ever mattered? Like, like without them, things would have been a lot different.
Man, that's a hard question to ask. That's the loaded question, I think. But I mean, I would say it would either be the Beatles or Bob Dylan, because they are the two most influential songwriters. And then me to say that, then I would have to. It seems like I'm discounting all the blues that made them who they were.
Right. Well, I mean, they made the blues accessible for everybody else.
But like, I mean, anytime you try and do something, it's hard not to look back and see whether the Beatles or Bob Dylan.
Right.
It's kind of, but I hate. That's why I love the lyrics like Swag to Be. You know, Mike Watt.
Yes.
And he has that.
The old Minutemen basement.
Oh yeah. But he has his own album. And there's this one song on one of his albums called "Against the '70s." And it's like kids of today should defend themselves against the '70s. In the sense, what I think what he was saying is that like, everybody looks back and like, oh, Zeppelin and Sabbath, and it's like you still hear it every day ad nauseum. A whole lot of love on your classic rock station.
Definitely.
It's like, can you not play something different for once? It's like you shouldn't be a slave to like one sort of classic era.
That's true. So you guys, any kind of horror stories from the tour so far? Anything going well, or?
Some horror stories, but but as far as horror story goes, I don't know. Our AC broke on the bus.
No, that's gonna, especially now.
And it's so disgusting. Like when you get on a bus and it's cooler outside in Phoenix of all places than it is on your bus, because like the humidity inside is just like you can see the windows sweating. It's 103 degrees. Oh man,
that's gotta be bad. Now the record's doing well. You're getting a lot of airplay. What's next after Warped Tour?
Well, we're trying to. I mean, we're talking to some of the bands in this tour who have been interested in bands. Like we get a lot of bands come up and cool, and then they say they want to take you out, but whether that actually happens.
Right.
So we either will do some of our own shows and some of our better markets after this, or we'll do a tour with another bigger band. And then start recording a new album.
All right. Well, I thank you for taking the time out. Alright, well, welcome back to the show. I'm here with Gallows and funeral for a friend. Now, how's the tour been going for you guys so far?
Good, we're just coming to the end of it actually. We finished this forthcoming Friday. And it's really disappointing by that. We've had the most fun on this tour I think we've had in a long time. The shows have been the best shows we've done in the US so far.
You guys have been on it from the beginning.
We have.
First day.
You're not going to decide not to end play the whole tour like some of the bands? Or?
But you know, we already had stuff back home in Europe already booked, so it was always going to be this long.
Right.
But it would be nice to do it all. Obviously, there's not enough hours in the day. 5 days in the year, rather.
Now you guys are from Wales. How different is it playing in the States than it is over there?
It's a little harder.
Really?
It's a little hotter here.
See, I hear that it's just from America, when they go over and play over there, it's a lot easier for some reason. I don't know if it's just the one band that I talked to, but they said that playing in Europe is like a vacation compared to touring the
Which
States.
band did it? Oh, well, yeah, I mean, the size of the UK involved.
Yeah.
So you can cover the UK in a 2-week period.
Yeah.
It's nice easy drive for an hour or two to the next gig. So I could see how that would be a lot easier than driving, 24 hours through the Rocky Mountains.
Yeah, I know that.
Which is lovely.
There's the whole Donner Party thing too. You never know when your bus is going to break down and it's snowing.
Yeah.
Well, you're the bass player, but that would be a bad thing. Now, on the new record, you guys have kind of, I noticed, it's slowed down a little bit, not too much.
I mean, there's no screaming up there.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. What kind of influences went into writing this new record?
A lot of old school references, I'd say. A lot of more classic rock bands.
Like Zeppelin and stuff like that.
Like Zeppelin, the Queen, to Genesis, to Rush, to Boston. Yeah, keep all day.
Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot of classic rock.
It is, yeah.
That is a lot. I don't even listen to that much classic rock. That's wild.
You should though.
I should.
That's the thing. Everybody should.
I listen to Queen, but it's like every time I turn on the local classic rock station, I get a whole lot of love like every 10 minutes.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
That one's
Too much love.
Yeah. Way too much love. Way too much love. So what are you guys doing? You guys go back to the UK after here, or?
We go back to the UK for a couple of days, and then it's European festivals every weekend through August.
You guys are taking like a week, like during the week, you're just gonna kind of relax.
Yeah, we become part-time musicians.
Hey, there's nothing wrong.
Only
with
for
that.
1 month though. Only for a month.
What happens after that then?
Australia, Japan, New Zealand.
Is that a headlining tour, or are you guys?
Yeah, that's all
Where are you guys gonna be?
Taking our good friends in Bayside down to Australia with us.
Yeah, we are, yeah.
Good friends Dopamine from the UK, from Wales as well.
It's going to be fun.
Well, this is Garrett, right, from a friend, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you, man. No problem. Thanks for your time. Appreciate it.
Not a problem. Welcome back to the show. Ron here. I'm here with Derek from Mayday. How's it going?
Great, man. How about you?
I'm doing all right. How long have you been on the tour so far?
About 2.5 weeks so far.
How's it been going?
It's been great. It's such a fun tour. It's kind of stressful being in a van trailer, It's really hot and driving through the night and stuff. It's kind of an exhausting tour.
You guys don't have a bus like
No
everybody
bus,
else?
no bus, no.
You're going old school then.
We're pretty cheap. We try to save as much money as possible.
Hey, there's
so.
nothing wrong with that. There's
Yeah,
nothing wrong with
absolutely.
that.
So-
No bling for you guys yet.
Yeah,
No?
yeah. But it's great. There's so many awesome bands, so many cool people. All the kids are great, so we love it. It's good.
How? Do you have any kind of horror stories on the road yet?
Oh man,
Being in a
yeah.
trailer in a van, like
It's actually funny that you mentioned it because we're in Wisconsin right now, and every time I've come to Wisconsin, something terrible has happened. So
we are known for serial killers and cheese.
So we'll see how. I actually don't think that has happened so far this time.
Well, let's cross our fingers.
We were here one time and we got in a really bad wreck. We flipped our trailer, and this actually Warped Tour last year. This happened. The most recent time I was here was we were touring with the Plain White Tees, and it was the first day of the tour. It was in Green Bay, and right before the show, I walked outside, and it was really icy outside because it was back in I guess March or something. I don't know. And I slipped and fell and hit my head on the concrete, and it was about 15 minutes before we had to play, and I had a concussion, and I broke a bone in my face, and I was bleeding real bad, and
that's
I
just
had to
rock
go,
right there.
Yeah, I had to still had to play the show, and I was just bleeding, and it was really bad. So we'll see how today goes. Let's see if anything better.
Touring bands, come to Wisconsin.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's our little PSA for today.
Yeah.
Now, the new record is doing kind of well.
I'm excited about it. I'm very, very excited.
What kind of inspirations went into the songwriting process?
Most of the CD was written on the road, actually. Most of it was written on the road back in like October, November, and really it was just honestly like exactly what we're going through like at that moment. Like if anything would happen, we would write about it right then, just pick up an acoustic guitar. Like there's a song called Jersey that was actually written while we're in Jersey, just like at that moment, you know, kind of. So a lot of it was about like being on the road and having a girlfriend back at home, you know, like all through all of us. We're all a big part of the writing process, and we all had girlfriends, and it's really stressful trying to keep a relationship while you're gone. You can't be there and stuff. So most of it has to do with that kind of stuff, I guess, which is pretty generic, but it's what we were.
Well, I bet you know.
That's what we were feeling at the time. So
well, that's the important part.
Yeah.
What inspired you, like originally, to get into music? What kind of inspirations did you have then?
Definitely. My brother is the reason I'm in a band. My oldest brother Todd. He started a band when I had to be like in 5th grade, and he was probably like in 8th grade. He started a band. I thought it was so cool. So. I got an acoustic guitar, and one of the other members of the band, Brooks, one of the guitar players, I've been in a band with him since 7th grade. We started a band together, and we've been in bands ever since then, all through middle school and high school, and now. So it's been a long time for us. But yeah, we mostly. I don't know. I love Queen. I've always been a huge fan of Queen, and there's a bunch of bands from Florida. For Seems Forever, and huge inspiration of mine. So.
CX, the band that the guy from Dashboard.
Yeah, Chris Cromwell left. So yeah.
I can never say his last name, so I just say the Dashboard.
There you go. Yeah.
That's the best bet right there.
Yeah.
So what do you guys have coming up after Warped Tour?
We're going straight out of this into our next tour with Alice Santa and As Cities Burn and Joan Zeta.
Okay.
And that's going to be about 2 months of that until the end of September.
The headlining tour, or?
No, I'm not actually not even sure where. I think As Cities Burn is headlining that one.
Okay.
And I'm not sure where we sit in the lineup of that one at all, actually. But
it doesn't matter though, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna be fun. We've met all the guys in the Alice Santa. They're amazing. They're awesome dudes. So we're excited about it.
All right. Well, thanks a lot for coming.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Around here, I'm with.
Aaron, Hawthorne.
I just want to ask you how the tour's going so far.
So far, it's been great. This is our second time in Warped Tour. Warped Tour is always amazing. There's thousands and thousands of people watching you every day. All kinds of other great bands that are playing. We have a lot of friends out here, so it's really fun.
What are some of the bands out here that you guys are interested in seeing when you're not playing?
Usually Bayside. We've made friends with Amber Pacific, so we've been watching them a bunch. Newfound Glory. There's so many bands, too many to really list.
Now, how long have you been on the tour? From the start, or?
We started about 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
So we missed just the first 2 weeks of the tour.
And you're going to be here till the end?
We'll be here till the end, yeah.
Okay, alright. Now, you guys are from Dayton?
Yep.
What kind of scene did you have down there?
Dayton's music scene was very, very small. Small but dedicated, I guess you could say. You know, a local show would draw 200 to 300 people. You know, sometimes depending on if you could get like an outside band to come through.
Right.
But those same.
That's been happening.
Yeah.
The magic of editing.
Yeah. Those same, those same 200-300 kids come out to every show, so it was really supportive.
So it didn't matter what kind of music it was?
No, not really. There was all kinds of different bands coming out of Dayton. Dayton's even though the scene is really small, there's a lot of really good bands that have come out of there. There's actually our guitar tech. He plays in a band called 12 Tribes. They're like a more metal hardcore band on Ferret Records. There's a band called Devil Wears Prada out of there. Guided by Voices are from there. You know, so there's a lot of variety and a lot of talent in such a small scene, which is really cool.
Did you notice when you guys branched outside of Dayton, it was almost like you had to start over? Like you didn't have the following you would and had it at home, I guess?
I don't know. It was almost a little bit easier, I think, because I guess the hometown crowd sort of has preconceived notions of what of what you are, what you sound like, and everything, and they expect a lot more out of you. Whereas we could go out of town and sort of feel free to play however we wanted and do whatever we wanted, and it was a lot easier, I think, to build up fans outside of Dayton, surprisingly.
Well, that's cool. That's very cool. Now, you guys are on Victory, and a few bands that are going to do, not today, but in the past, have said that they had problems with Victory.
Yes.
And how are things going with you guys at Victory Records?
Well, we've been in a lawsuit with them for over almost a year now.
That's the same thing at Thursday
And,
said.
Yeah. We've been in a lawsuit with them for about a year. It's progressing fairly slowly. The latest ruling from the judge was that we're non-exclusive to the Victory, so we can record for other labels or release stuff on our own if we want. But we still, at this point, still owe Victory 2 more records.
Okay.
Which, you know, we're trying to sort of negotiate with them now to sort of work something out. We'll see.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
So what kind of plans do you have after Warped Tour?
After Warped Tour, if we can work some kind of deal out, we're gonna go into the studio and record our 3rd record with Howard Benson.
Oh, that's very cool. That's very cool. Any touring plans after Warped Tour? Or are you just gonna kind of take it easy?
Well, you know, it all sort of depends on what we can work out. If we can get into the studio, we're gonna go to the studio and then tour afterwards. If we can't work something out just yet, then we'll go on tour and then studio later.
Is there any label that you guys are looking at? Like if you know, if you had your druthers, and you could pick any label to be on.
There's a lot of really good labels out there, and we're talking to a few, and I'd be really happy with any one of them at this point.
Yeah, that's pretty much what
anybody's going to release our music and promote us and have proper business ethics. I can't say that today.
Hey, that's all right.
Yeah.
What whose idea was it for the DVD?
The DVD was actually Fisher's idea.
Was it?
Yeah.
And that doesn't count as a release from
No, it doesn't, surprisingly enough. And that's part of the problem, part of the whole lawsuit. And I don't know, they wanted to release something to sort of hype the album, our last album that was coming out about a month or 2 later. And so we threw something together, basically. I wish we had more time because, you know, there was a lot more that we wanted to show.
So they pretty much had no control over the input of the DVDs.
Well, we did. We did, but it was just like, all right, you guys have this amount of time to film it all, and it just wasn't enough time. There would have been more had we had our own, our way. We've been, filming a lot of things, over the last year since we started this lawsuit, and maybe that stuff will sooner or later see the light of day.
At some point, yeah. So, well, I want to thank you for taking time out today.
Thank you very much.
And enjoy the rest of the tour.
Awesome, thanks.
Yeah, no problem.